JBN, we keep you informed. I am Michelle Jones, and in the news, Russian Barnett charged over alleged lockup altercation with cops. Russian Barnett, the man who pleaded guilty to the murder of a mother and her 4 children in Clarendon, has been charged following an alleged confrontation with cops at the Halfway Tree lockup. The police report that the incident occurred as personnel sought to recover contraband Barnett allegedly had in his possession. Head of the St. Andrews Central Police Division, Senior Superintendent Marlon Nesbeth, said that items, including a cell phone, were seized. He, however, did not reveal the other items. Barnett was charged with assaulting a police officer and possession of contraband arising from the incident, which happened on Tuesday. There was an altercation in the cell among some prisoners, a general disturbance, and an inspector intervened. In the process, the person realized that Russian Barnett was acting suspiciously, so she interfaced with him. He got boisterous. She called for help, and they searched him and found contraband items on him, which included a cell phone, he said. According to him, Barnett assaulted the policewoman and threw an item that had some juice in it at the other cops. Nesbeth said his team handled the matter professionally, adding that Barnett was not hurt in the altercation. He said he'll be placed before the court to answer the charges. We were able to manage the situation, so I didn't have to reach at any conflict, he said. Barnett in July pleaded guilty to the murders of Clarendon mother Kemisha Wright, Kimanda Smith 15, Charlie Smith 12, Raphaela Smith 5, and 23-month-old Kishon Henry Jr. They were discovered inside their cocoa piece home in Clarendon with chapoons and their throats slashed on July 21. The prosecution is seeking the death penalty for his crimes. Hotel worker killed, 3 injured in St. James crash. A woman was killed in St. James early Thursday morning after the car she was traveling in crashed into vehicles parked along the Tucker Main Road. 3 others were also injured in the crash and remain in hospital. The deceased has been identified as 21-year-old Shantava Wilcox, a hotel worker for Kensington District, St. James address. It's reported that about 12:45 a.m., Wilcox and 3 other passengers were traveling in a Toyota Fielder motor car towards Adelphi when the driver reportedly lost control and crashed into a tractor-trailer and a Nissan, both parked along the roadway. Wilcox, who sustained severe head injuries, died on the spot. The 3 other passengers, who also sustained injuries, were transported to the Conroe Regional Hospital. The scene was processed, and the woman's body was removed to the morgue for a post-mortem examination. The driver of the Toyota Fielder motor car has since been warned for prosecution. Cops probe death of recently released prisoner. Police are probing whether the killing of a man in Portland Cottage, Clarendon on Tuesday had anything to do with his recent release from prison. Donovan Sinclair, otherwise called Dada, a laborer from Belgium Street in the community, was attacked and shot to death while walking along the Portland Cottage main road. Reports indicate that about 8:20 a.m., Sinclair was walking on the roadway when he was pounced upon by men on foot who were armed with guns. The men opened gunfire, hitting him in the upper body and head, killing him on the spot. They then made their escape on foot in the area. The police were summoned, and on their arrival, Sinclair was seen lying on his back in blood with what appeared to be gunshot wounds to the upper body and head. Police said a blue peak hat and a right foot of black Louis Vuitton sneakers were also found on the scene. Sinclair, the police disclosed, was recently released from prison, having served several years from a 7-year sentence for armed robbery. This is one of the possible angles the police are looking into. $175 million upgrade for Frome Police Station in Westmoreland. National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang says the police in Westmoreland will not relent as they seek to combat crimes, particularly murders, in the parish. Chang says the government is committed to boosting resources to help make communities safer. Included in that move is the construction of a new police station in Frome, which saw ground being broken this morning. The new facility is to be constructed at a cost of $175 million under the Security Ministry's Project Rebuild, Overall and Construct PROC with funding from the National Housing Trust. The construction phase has already started and is expected to be completed within the next 30 months. The project will see the construction of a 2-story building outfitted with living quarters, detention cells, and an administrative department. The compound will also get a new sewer disposal system, increased parking, and new walls. Chang lamented about crime in the parish and the impact on residents. There is a sense of fear and almost terrorism. hitting our people in some areas in Westmoreland where homicides have increased, Chang said. Over 103 murders have been recorded in Westmoreland since the start of the year. Bail extended for Jennifer Macedo and husband. Disbarred attorney Jennifer Macedo and her husband Jeffrey on Thursday had their bail extended when they appeared in the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court. They are to return to court on November 16. Mr. Macedo, who is 75 years old, is charged with 4 counts of forgery and 2 counts of obtaining money by means of false pretense. His wife is charged with 4 counts of obtaining money by false pretense and 12 counts of forgery arising from a transaction with businessman Lauriston Stewart in 2018. When the matter was called up Thursday morning, the Macedo's attorney, Peter Champagne QC, said he made a request to the Director of Public Prosecutions for review of the case, outlining in detail why Mr. Macedo should not have been charged. However, Champagne said the DPP's office needs additional time to review his request. 95 new COVID-19 cases, no deaths reported. The Ministry of Health and Wellness reported 95 new COVID-19 cases on Wednesday, September 14, bringing the infection total to 150,016. The new cases comprise 54 females and 41 males, with ages ranging from 1 month to 99 years. The cases were recorded in Kingston and St. Andrew, 24, Westmoreland, 16, Clarendon, 11, St. James, 11, St. Elizabeth, 10, St. Catherine, 7, Portland, 6, Manchester, 4, St. Mary, 2, St. Anne, 1, St. Thomas, 1, Trelawney, 1, and Hanover, 1. No deaths were recorded for the period. There were 112 recoveries in the last 24 hours, bringing the total to 97,902. Currently, 104 people are hospitalized, 35 of whom are moderately ill, 6 severely ill, and 4 in critical condition. Jamaica's positivity rate for the latest round of testing is 17.9%. In sports news, Tallawahs beat Barbados Royals in rain-affected game. Jamaica Tallawahs consolidated second place in the men's edition of the Hero Caribbean Premier League by beating Barbados Royals by 6 runs via the Duckworth-Lewis method in a rain-affected match on Thursday. The Tallawahs were 126 for 5 of 17 overs, chasing 147 for victory when heavy rain ended the match at Queen's Park Oval in Trinidad. Under the Duckworth-Lewis system, the Tallawahs were ahead by 6 runs at that stage, and the result ended the unbeaten run of the Royals. Tallawahs had a dream start to their chase with Brandon King 46 and Amir Django 29, finding the boundary consistently in the power play. The pair scored 50 runs by the 5th over. However, Obed McCoy would strike with 2 wickets, including the scalp of Django, before Jason Holder set up a tense finish by taking 3 wickets. In the end, a 6 from captain Rovman Powell just before the rain proved critical. Powell made 12 not out of 18 balls. Holder finished with 3 for 33 from 4 overs, and McCoy 2 from 19 from 3. Earlier, Ahmad Wasim got the Tallawahs off to a spectacular start by bowling 2 maiden overs and taking 3 wickets in the power play to leave the Royals reeling at 17 for 3 after 6 overs. It was South African internationals Quinton de Kock and captain David Miller who rebuilt the innings for the Royals with an 83-run partnership that took them to 146 for 6 at the end of their innings. De Kock cracked 7 fours and 3 sixes in a 43 balls 74, while Miller scored 34 from 27 balls with 1 4 and 2 sixes. Wasim ended with 3 for 14 after 3 overs. Despite the defeat, the Royals remain atop the 6-team table with 12 points from 7 games, 4 ahead of Jamaica Tallawahs on 8 points. The top 2 are followed by St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots 6, Trinbago Knight Riders 5, St. Lucia Kings 4, and the Guyana Amazon Warriors 3. Tropical Storm Fiona forces postponement of Windies and the New Zealand women's first ODI. Cricket West Indies, in conjunction with the New Zealand cricket team management, have agreed to postpone the first women's CG United One-Day International match scheduled for Friday. Their decision comes on the heels of the passage of Tropical Storm Fiona, which is likely to pass over Antigua and the Leeward Islands on Friday. Meanwhile, a decision will be made on the second ODI match scheduled for Sunday, September 18, based on the impact of the storm. Both teams want to ensure that, if possible, the full 8-match series can be played, as points won in the CG United ODI series contribute towards the new ICC Women's Championship, which provides a direct pathway to qualification for the ICC Women's Cricket World Cup in 2025. CWI Director of Cricket, Jimmy Adams, said that the safety of the players is of paramount importance. He also said that he hopes the T20 international matches will be rescheduled as they play a key role in both teams' preparations for next year's ICC Women's T20 World Cup in South Africa. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.